These people know that they have come to the end of their blessing. And they're trying to tell the people without really telling the people. They're telling them half truths, and they're still everyone trying to make it seem like it wasn't them. It was another group of people. It wasn't the white people. It was the government. It wasn't the government. It was the white people. And they're talking about land confiscation. I'm kind of cracking up with the whole thing with they're talking about, for just compensation for slavery. They're talking about taking land away from white people and giving it back to so-called black people, in order to pay back for slavery. Now, I'm like, okay, hold on, man. That was, you stole labor in slavery. So how do you seem to think that giving back land is a just compensation for 400 to 500 years of slavery? See, you know that these lands are already going to be given back to the Most High's chosen people, but you want to make it sound as if somehow the government is going to pass some kind of a bill, like they have the power to make reparations for the things that were done. See, this is not something that's going to be in your hands to do. This is something that the Most High is going to execute. He is executing judgment. You are not, like, all of a sudden out of the goodness of your heart going to start to pass a bill to start to pay back, pay for the ills of slavery that you have brought on the people. This is something that the Most High is doing. What did it say in the scriptures? All right. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, right? So the Most High is bringing vengeance. That's why you guys have had all this time to get your acts together and to actually, you have from 1865, when you guys supposedly ended slavery in the Civil War. You could have went ahead and started to actually make some recompense for the things that had happened, but you went ahead and worked the laws out so that you could actually get the benefits that were promised to us, and you can keep those for yourself and pass those down to your posterity for another 180, 190 years. So, and it talks about the Bible how, yes, the Most High was angry with us, but you guys took it a step further. You guys you've done way more. You've gone overboard, and that's exactly what you've done. So let me show you guys a quick little clip here, because it's from True News, and then, like I said, they know what's coming. I've talked about this for the last couple of years in Joel chapter 2, talking about how the Most High is going to be returning the land back to its rightful owners. And now all of a sudden they're trying to make these things, this is what's going to happen in the future. Well, they know what's going to happen. They know they stole the land from the true Israelites. They know that these are our lands. And they know that the Most High is about to give it all back. And they're letting you guys know this little by little, so that maybe, they can say, I tried to tell them, Most High. I tried to warn them that this was going to happen, but they wouldn't listen. See, they're trying to get out in front of what's to come. They're always trying to do that, just like when they start up these little camps, these little groups, and they try to, they know the truth is going to start to come out, so they try to control it. You can only read 66 books. You can only read 80 books. You can't read anything else. That's something that all the groups, all the camps are all confederate with. You can't read any other books. You can't study anything else, okay? They're confederate with that whole narrative of we're from Africa, and the so-called Middle East is our lands, and not these lands that we're on right now. But let me show you this clip right now. I'll show you how they're trying to get ahead of what is to come.
Right now, and this is where we're at right now, and the end of 2023. We're in the next phase of the communist takeover of America. And where this is going, folks, is eventually we will reach the point of land confiscation. They will pass a slavery reparation law, and the government will say, Washington doesn't have the money for this, and Washington didn't do this to the black people. The white people did it. We are going to have to nationalize land owned by white people.
Don't think they can't do it.
I'm telling you, my friends, I'm telling you, this is the plan. They're going to pass a national reparation law that requires the confiscation of land owned by white people as just compensation for slavery.
And the whitest of the white are MAGA
Trump
followers.
Trump, white Christians who voted for Trump. They will be the very first ones to lose their homes, their farms, their ranches, their businesses.
So now all of a sudden, the federal government isn't white people. When they said we the people, when they set up their constitution, were we even included? Do you guys all remember the Dred Scott decision? There was talked about how pretty much black people were not even like citizens, how we were property, how we were pretty much the equivalent of an animal, equivalent of a horse. So we were not included with your we the people and all the freedom and all of the liberty and all of the the freedom that you guys have all enjoyed for all this time. That was not us. So how can you now all of a sudden say, it wasn't the government that did this, when that's exactly who did it? And the government was ran by so-called white people. So therefore, the ones who did these things to us with the Indian Removal Act and and the Head Right program, and the slavery, and the 1866 treaty, and all the other treaties you guys made with our people, and you broke every single one of them. It wasn't so-called black people, wasn't so-called brown people. It has been done by so-called white people, because this has been your country. Now, see, this shows you right now how they don't want their history. Also, it was only so-called Republicans that did these things. Were they the only ones that had benefited from stealing our land and handing them down from generation to generation? No, trust me, there's so-called people who are in the Democratic Party that are so-called white people who have been living large as well. You see what I'm saying? So don't sit here and try to make it sound like it's one group that did this. Because I hear that stuff all the time from people. Oh, well, Republicans aren't talking about race. It's only Democrat white people that are talking about race. Bruh, you know what? Now, miss us with all the BS at this point. I said, you guys are being exposed. Yes, you guys were all in it. And it's not just so-called white people. Anyone who made a covenant with you is also going to be getting this work as well. You see what I'm saying? So you guys are the ones that are trying to make it all about color and things like that. I said, but that's not the case whatsoever. Okay? There are so-called Native Americans who sat here and worked with the government to exclude us from the benefits from the 1866 treaty. You think the Most High is going to be like, oh, well, you guys are brown, so I'm not going to make you guys have to pay for the things you did, even though you went in line, you made a covenant with the other nations, and you're going to have to suffer the consequences. You worked it out of the system so that you could get money for the casinos. You guys all went with the one-drop rule to make another group of people that does not exist and put us in that group. So therefore, we had no rights. And you were able to work it, finagle the system so you could work your way in with this quantum blood theory, so that you guys can get the benefits that were promised to us. Now, there's plenty of people that look just like me that are in jobs where, they've been working to keep us at the bottom and to make sure that we did not get any kind of compensation, that no one looked at, make sure that we did not get any, we didn't get any justice when things were happening to us. That all goes back to the Dred Scott ruling as well, and which we were pretty much not even human. We were not even allowed to go and ask for our freedom because we were not considered people. Now, so like I said, this is about your actions, okay? Not necessarily your color, okay? This is why they're the ones always trying to devolve everything into color. I says, we are not like that. We have no power. We've had no power to do anything. All we've been able to do is sit here and just take the BS, take the garbage, get screwed over and have no recourse. That's what we're guilty of. Not having any justice, not having anyone working on our behalf. Everyone, working the system for their benefit and smiling in our face the whole time. And now all of a sudden everyone wants to play the dumb role. Oh, I didn't know that was going on. Yeah, okay, yeah, right, whatever, bro. I said, you guys have all known. You've been knowing when you get these benefits and everything else that you have been working for the system. So just like this guy was like, oh, it's going to be the Trump followers are going to have to give up their lands. No, bro, it's going to have to be anyone that's on a land that the Most High was the one that dictated whose lands are what. So it's not going to be this government's going to say, well, you take the lands from these people, but these people can keep their lands. You're not going to be making those choices. The Most High will. See, the Most High knows everyone's heritage. The Most High knows who belongs where. We don't know. You see what I'm saying? Most High knows. And He's the one that's going to be telling everyone where they need to go, what's their inheritance. You're going to be going with your ancestors in the lands that they gave you during the time of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth after the flood. It's not going to be the government's going to be deciding any of these things. You see what I'm saying? But that's what they always try to do. They always try to make it sound like the government's going to pass this resolution, and your government is a wrap, bro. It's done. All of the things all the lies are going to be exposed day and after day after day. If you not see it already happening. You don't see anyone trying to come and debunk any of this information. But it's because they can't. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's all about brotherly love. I got that one yesterday. Oh, we're brothers and sisters in Christ. Were we brothers and sisters in Christ when you guys were all getting the benefits that were promised to us? Did anyone stand up for us and say, hey, man, that's not right, man. We're brothers in Christ. We need to make sure we treat these people fairly. Nah, people were hella quiet. Just make sure I get my card, bruh. Just make sure I get my check in the mail. Just make sure that I'll keep quiet as long as, they don't have to get anything. I'll keep quiet as long as you keep on taking care of me and make sure I get those benefits that were promised to them. So don't give me the whole brothers in Christ BS at this point. It's a wrap. Most High is here. And watch what He's about to do. Powerful things.